YouTube channel. It's a girl Noel. Since you all have been blowing up my TikTok account about the top I recently made, it's not an original design, but the tutorial that I'm going to post today is something I just looked at the outfit and came up with, and together with some explanation from N.A.B.W.I.R.E crochet TikTok page. So today's tools that you're gonna be using are gonna be a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook and a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook. I don't know where my stitch markers went to, but it is necessary. And then we're gonna be using a pair of scissors, a tape measure, and I'll be using the medium weight. This is not medium, this is the small mmg gram. It's a robin 100% acrylic yarn. So to begin, I'm gonna be doing double strands of this, but if you have the medium weight yarn, better. But I like using this because on the arm area I'm gonna be doing a single strand. So let's begin. So to begin, we're gonna start off with the bust area, and I'm gonna be working on a bust measurement of 31 because that is my bust measurement. So yeah, let's begin with that. So I'm just gonna align my two strands together like that, and then I'm gonna make a knot like that. So the difference over here is that when you're working on this particular outfit, it's obviously gonna be stretchy because it's yarn. So what you're gonna do is, instead of working like all around, instead of doing a total of how many stitches, instead of doing like all round till your measurement gets to 32, what I normally do is I take 31, that's my bust measurement, minus 10 inches. So meaning I'm gonna be doing a total of 21 inches in total. So this is the length of our beginning row. And yeah, so let's begin. So you can do that if you don't want it to be too big for you at the back, and you don't want to leave a bigger gap at the back too. So that is what we're gonna be doing. So let's just start off. So we've already made our knot. Now we're gonna chain, to be exact, to make a total of 31 inches. So we're gonna start off 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 6 7 8 9 10. Let me just try this. The last time I was looking for how many chains make an inch on ChatGPT, it was for 4 stitches. So meaning if 4 make an inch and we want to make a total of 21 inches, I'm gonna take 21 inches times 4, which is gonna give me 21 times 4. It's gonna give me a total of 84 stitches. So let me try doing 84 stitches and measure on here so that you can know if that formula is right. So let's start again. So we've said you're making a total of 84 stitches. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 60, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, and 84. We were working a total of 21 inches, so let's just see if it gives us 21 inches when stretch. And I think it gives us 21 inches, guys. See, it's there, 21 inches. It is exactly 21 inches, so that formula is correct. So if you want to calculate your inches when working on any top with your initial or starting length, you're gonna do like 1 inch is equals to 4 stitches. So what about 21? What about 17 inches? You're just gonna divide your inches by 4 and it will give you exactly the right measurements you need to begin your top. So this is what is going to go around my bust area to my back before I work like the places where I'm gonna insert my back stitch roped. So let's start. So our tape measure is of no use for now. What you're gonna do is you're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This is gonna work as our first double crochet, so we're working on our second double crochet. So this is our first row of double crochet, and as you can see we are doing double strand. So you're gonna keep on doing this till you come to the end and go back again, and you're gonna do a total of how long you want your top to be from your bust top to your bust bottom. So yeah, this is the height of the top you want to go for. So the previous one I worked on, I went for 11 inches, and I think this one I'm gonna go for 10 inches because I'm a smaller person compared to my client. She is Muslim, she didn't want to show off her tummy, so for me it's okay if I go for 10 inches. So that's what you're going to do. So we're going to work rows of double crochet till we get to 10 inches height. So I'm gonna get back to you when we have a total of 10 inches, and I believe like a double crochet is equals to an inch if I'm not wrong, or half an inch. Yeah, it's equals to half an inch. So I'm gonna need 20 rows of double crochet if I'm not wrong, but yeah, we will see when you get there. So keep on working your rows of double crochet until you get to your final rows of double crochet. Then we're gonna start working a different pattern from there, which is the armholes. Now when we're done, we're gonna work on the back area and the rope that is going to tie our top at the back before we start working on the arm areas. So far this is what you have. As you can see, it's very neat and it doesn't leave gaps. That's why I do double strands when beginning and using a 3.5mm crochet hook. If I had used a 2.5mm crochet hook, I wouldn't need to do the double strand. I would have done the single strand because this gives you very neat small stitches. Hi my love, so we are back, and so far this is what we have. So I've just measured it on my bodice. I mean my bodice, okay, bodice means my upper part of the body, and it fits me. So this is where we're gonna stop from, at 9 inch, because if we go a bit more, it's gonna be extra long for me, and I don't want it that way because I want to wear it with something high waist. So anyways, that's it. So this is the measurement we're gonna stick with, and this is how it looks. So now, since we want to adjust at the back so that we can leave just a bit of space at the middle, we want to get rid of this whole space. And remember, my bust is 31, so 31 divided by 2, that is 15.5. So I have to make sure that the front is like a 15.5, which is like, is it 15.5 guys? Anyways, so like I just need to make sure that the front is like this, and then yeah, almost at 14 because it stretches. Yeah, so I need to add like at least an inch on this side and an inch on this side. So with that, let me just show you how you're gonna add those inches at the back in a very neat and clear way, and I bet you're gonna love it. So over here where we stopped on our final row, we're gonna chain 1, and you are gonna start working on this side of your top. So after chaining 1, you're gonna make single crochets in each and every gap. As you can see, I'm making 1 on this double crochet space and 1 at the top of the double crochet, 1 in this double crochet space and 1 here. So I'm gonna keep on doing this until I come to the end of this row. As you can see, this is how it looks. So I'm gonna do that until I come to this part of this top of this row. And the importance of this single crochet row is just to neatify the edge, so that when you're working other patterns, you know what you're working with. For most people, you can just leave it from here because you already have the gaps, as you can see, where you can pass through your back tie. But for me, I like it classy. I like to add some decoration patterns at the back, and that is why we are doing this. Don't forget to put your last stitch on this part, upper part of there, just to finish it all like that. So this is what we have on this side of our top. What you're going to do next is you're going to choose a pattern that you're going to use. If it's a mesh stitch, a granny stitch, a shell stitch. For me, I'm gonna go with a granny stitch for here. So I'm gonna chain 2 and 3, and then I'm gonna turn my work, and I'm gonna start working on this side. So for a granny stitch, you're gonna skip 1, 2, 3 and make 3 double crochet stitches on this part. So this already fills up this 1, 2, 3 because I've chained 3 here. It fills up these 3 spaces over here. So I'm not gonna chain anything. I'm just gonna skip 1, 2, 3, make 3 double crochets here. So at this point, I know like most people have already done granny stitches and they understand the pattern behind it. So you just skip 3 stitches and work 3 double crochet stitches on the next. And as you can see, the pattern is already forming. So I'm just gonna do like 3 or 2 of this, just this row and the next row. Then from there, I'm gonna show you like a bit of our last patterns. As you can see, it's already creating this magical look. at the back. So I'm gonna meet you when I'm done with this row, when I'm changing to the next row. Come to the end of this row and you're gonna skip 1, 2, 3 and work on this last stitch. So over here you're gonna make 3 stitches. You're gonna make a chain stitch because you're gonna end here with double crochet. So 1 and then 2 and 3, and that is our final stitch. This is how it looks. So to alter to the next row, you're gonna chain 1, 2, 3 as you did here, and you are gonna turn your work. And now to fill up this space, you're gonna make 2 more chains to make it 3. And that is how you've done this row. Don't worry about here, we're still gonna make like a complete stitch to just clear up the edges later on. So next you're gonna chain now 3 double crochet stitches in these spaces, because you've already created the granny stitch pattern. So this is what you're doing. So far this is what you have. Here, don't worry about here, you will see how it turns out at the end. You're just gonna work on it. So we're gonna keep on doing this to the end of this second row of granny stitches at the back, and then I'm gonna show you what is happening next after these rows as we make our holes where our back straps are gonna be going through. So we are finally on our last stitch where we began from. 1, 2. Make sure your third stitch of double crochet stands on top of this, just for the even finish. Okay, so this is what you have so far. As you can see, that is how our back looks. So next you're gonna chain 1 and turn your work. Now it's time for making where our back straps are gonna go into. So over here you're gonna chain here 1, chain 1, 2, skip 1, 2 and do single crochets of 1. Did I skip 2? No, I need to skip 2. Or before, let's just chain stitches of single crochet here first to even out this place. So I'm gonna make single crochets all around, then I'm gonna get back to you when we are done with this row of single crochet. Remember, you don't need to do all of this, but I just do this like to just make my back look presentable and neat and classy at the same time, because you know your back matters and I don't want to leave my outfits looking all messy. I want a clean finish. So far here we are, my loves, and I'm done with both sides of the top, and as you can see they are irregular, like they are going in, which is not bad, but let's try to rectify this, whatever is going on here. So with that, we are gonna work like single crochets all around to here, and also work single crochets at the bottom just to secure the whole thing. So gonna chain 1 and start working our single crochets all the way around. In this chain space, just gonna make 1 and 1. And so far this is what you have, and you're going to see the difference that it's gonna give it, as you can see. And here it's easier because you're just gonna do single crochets all around. And so far this is what you have, and you can see already it's clear. So we're gonna do this till we come to this end over here, and then I'm gonna get back to you after I'm done with this other side too, and we are making the back tie that is gonna go in here. So far this is what we have, guys, and as you can see, this is how the back looks. Yeah, we tried to work with the edges, but we couldn't make a very big difference. But yeah, this is what we have. I think I missed something over here, but it's not a big deal. So this is what we have at the back. So this is gonna be our top part, where we're gonna be placing our arms, and now we're gonna be working on our back ties. So for our back ties, I'm gonna show you a formula that I use to get the perfect back ties that won't hurt someone if they tie it at the back of their body. So you're gonna make a knot, and now I'm gonna start off by chaining 1, 2, 3, 4. This is gonna act as our first double crochet. I'm just gonna make a yarn over, then I'm gonna make a double crochet on this first spot over here. So 1, 2. So this is what we have. Next I'm gonna chain 2. I'm gonna turn my work, yarn over, and do a double crochet here. You can see here inside this, and chain 2 double crochet, chain 2, turn my work, and do the same thing over here. Chain 2, turn my work, and do the same thing. Chain 2, turn my work, and do the same thing. So this is what we're gonna be doing until I get to enough chains of how long I want my back strap to be, and then I'm gonna get back to you guys. And as you can see how good it looks, the quality is also great. This when tied to your back compared to the single strand, this is much better, with a better look and a better what can I say? Okay, it's just good. So we're gonna do this, then when we're done, I'm gonna tie it at the back, and then we start working on the sleeves. So far, my loves, this is our back tie. You can make it as long as you feel you want it, but it's very nice if you can make it as long as you need the right measurements to fit you. Then from there you can exceed. Don't make it too short. So we are going to attach it to our top. Then from there is what we're gonna next is trying to figure out where we're gonna put our armholes. So this is what we're gonna do. So just look at it. This is so nice. So here, this is why we needed these holes for straps. So our first one will go this way. Just to make sure that the right height. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna skip one. No, we don't need to skip any. Just gonna go into each and every hole. But if you want, you can skip just to save on time, maybe when you're tying it at the back. And you can see already how nice it looks, and it gives it an expensive look. So like, I believe when it comes to fashion, the finishing is just what really matters at most. Like, your outfit can be a good design and everything, but if your finish is awful, then that outfit is a no. So your finish is very important. The end results really need to be something someone can look at and be in awe. So yeah, that's why I really invest so much in how the final look of my outfit is gonna be. And it is very important to take your time. Like, crochet is slow fashion, so when you try to rush everything, then you are messing it up, and you're messing it up for everyone who does crochet, because now people are gonna see it like something that is not so good, and someone is not gonna like it just because maybe you made them an outfit and you are not so keen on your finishes. Maybe your stitches were not on point and it turns out really badly. So as you can see, if you followed the steps at this point, I really didn't even need to count the spaces, but I got them in the right way. But next time, count. If you've already worked on the side, count, make sure that they match so that you don't do something wrong. And as you can see, this is what remains after I've inserted. So mostly when I wear it, it's gonna stretch. Obviously it's gonna eat some more here, so even though this is gonna be in here, maybe I'll be left out with this, so it's still right. So yeah, this is how our back of the top looks like, and this is how our front looks like. This is, I think, some yarn that grabbed themselves on it. Just gonna get rid of it because it looks like it's that, but it's like yarn. I don't know. Anyway, let's leave it from there. And I lost my stitch markers, so I only have one, so we're gonna use a different color of yarn as our stitch marker today to match this other one. So yeah, so I'm gonna need to work on here. So when it comes to this part, remember, like, we are working on this end. So we've already started working on the armhole, and remember, like, when you fit this to your body, you're gonna need to mark just the area under your arms, and you don't need a really big space. You see, just mark the front part where your arm begins, your armhole begins, then count 6 stitches, then you're going to mark on the other side. So now we're going to chain the exact inches that fit your arm circumference, which is 14 for mine. So I'm currently on stitch 42, and I need to get to 42 plus 14, that is 56. Yeah, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 56, 56. Then you're gonna turn your work. Make sure that these stitches are facing the right side before you go and stitch it in. Yeah, they're facing the right side. And now I'm gonna stitch it in. This has no use anymore. Now you're gonna place it here and slip stitch all the way. Yep. Next, you're gonna turn your work. I'm gonna chain. Now before you chain 2, you're gonna slip stitch on the second. Is it supposed to be on this side? No. You're gonna turn your work just that way and slip stitch over here and start working double crochets in each and every single crochet stitch over here. You want to work on this side that faces the outside. As you can see, this is how our arm is gonna look. So you're gonna work on this side. For this side, you're gonna work on this side. So we're just gonna do rows of double crochets in each and every single crochet stitch. Then I'm gonna show you what our next row will look. So far this is how our top is coming along. I'm done with this part. I'm working on this one, then I'm gonna get back to you when I'm attaching my elastic, and then we start working on the sleeves. Or let's do the sleeves. Okay, we'll attach the elastic, then do the sleeves. And that is the back of the top. Yep, I left you guys and did this part, so I just stopped from where we had stopped on this other side to work on this side so that I could show you how to end it. So yeah, so you kept on working your double crochet stitches on the armhole, and remember this part that you leave here underneath here at the center, you're also going to put in these double crochet stitches in each and every single crochet stitch. This is just the excess yarn. I was trying to hide it before I cut it, because if you've watched most of my crochet tutorials, you know that I don't like just cutting it plainly. It might frog itself in the process, so that's why I had it. So just to make sure that all your patterns are facing on the right side, and you're gonna make a slip knot to close this gap over here. Well, before we make this slip knot, let's try and put another here, and then that is it. So now to work on this ruffle part over here, I'm gonna cut one of my yarns, because now we're going to start working with a single strand. So that is why you've cut one of the yarns. I'm just gonna, these are our second balls of yarn so far. This is our third ball of yarn, and yeah, let's just get rid of this one first. Yep. So right now we're working with a single strand of yarn, and this is what we're going to do. For this row, you're going to chain 1, 2, 3, and you're going to start working 3 double crochets in each and every single crochet stitches all the way around. So remember to hide your excess yarn as you go on before you cut it, because you don't want it to frog. So 3 double crochet stitches in each and every 3 double crochets in each and every double crochet stitch. Okay, and you're gonna see the results once we are done with this 3 double crochet stitches in each and every double crochet stitch. I'm sorry guys. So I'll meet you back when we are at this point, closing off this row. Then we can do the elastic. Since we don't have a yellow elastic yarn, we're gonna be using this white yarn. I mostly use white on lighter colors outfit and the black one on darker color outfit. So let's just finish this part. I'll meet you here, then we can do the elastic on this other side, then I'll get back to you guys. So this is where we are working on this elastic band, and you want to work it from the inside, because this is your top, this is where the sleeves are going to go in. So you want to work with from here, okay? And we are using the 2.5mm crochet hook. So that's why in the beginning of the tutorial I told you, like, you need the 2.5mm crochet hook. Over here we had already made a knot, so now we are going to first secure this elastic by just making single crochets, like 2 or 3 single crochet stitches, right, like that. Then from here onwards you are going to start making slip stitches, okay, as you tighten your elastic, okay, because that is the essence of why you want to use this elastic. You want it to make your outfit elastic enough to fit you, so you don't want it to be the same way. So you see why we're working from this side, from the inside, so that when you wear your top, this elastic does not show on the outside, okay? I hope you can see that. Yeah, so you're gonna keep on working all around this inner part, and when you're done on this side, you're also gonna work on this other side from inside, and when you're done, we're gonna start working on the sleeves, which is the most important part of this tutorial. Let me guess, at this point I think you can already see the difference that this elastic band makes to your top. It's stretchy, right? And this one is all way out. You can see the difference. This is too big and this is pretty small. So yeah, you've achieved what you wanted on this side. So we're just gonna do the same thing on this side, then I'll meet you guys when we start working on the sleeves, okay? So at this point, my loves, our arms are secured and you can see that it's stretchier, right? This is gonna hold your arms. So the most important thing that you need to know is these ruffles. These ruffles are the ones that are gonna define your arm sleeve. So as you can see how big it is, right? So let's begin on this side since I had left it open. Okay, so here we're gonna insert our hook and we're just gonna tie back our yarn and start working on our sleeves. For my sleeves, the previous posts that I posted on TikTok that you guys saw, I was using the tribal mesh stitch. Since I'm using a single strand of robin, 100% acrylic yarn, you know how nice and lightweight it is. So you are gonna want to use a very good stitch to make it pop out. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna chain 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and you're gonna make your tribal and you're gonna count 1 2 and work on your third with a tribal stitch. So the secret is here, chain 2, make your tribal and work on your third stitch. Chain 2, make your tribal, work on your third stitch. Chain 2, skip 2, make your tribal on the third. So you're not going to see much of a difference for these first few rows, but when you get to the 10th or 15th row, you're gonna see how cool and beautiful it's gonna start coming out. Then you are gonna be doing the right thing. So let's just do that. As you can already see, this is the pattern we are doing. So I'm gonna meet you at the end to show you how we join here so that we can go on another row. So yeah, chain 2, skip 2 and make your treble stitch on the third, right? Don't mess up this pattern. Don't put a double crochet if you started with a treble stitch. Go all the way around with a treble stitch for even rows. So I'm gonna meet you when I am almost here at where we began with this row of tribal mesh stitches, okay? So at this point we've come to the end of our first row of mesh tribal stitches, and we're going to chain 2 and join it to this top part of this initial mesh. And there you have it, we've secured our first row. For our second row, you're gonna chain 6 again. 1 2 3 4 5 6. meaning it's our treble stitch plus 2. Treble stitches are 1 2 3. That's a treble stitch plus 1 2, and then this other part is going to work as our initial treble. Yeah, so that's why I'm chaining 6. And now we're gonna work row 2 again the same way we worked row 1, and you're gonna keep on doing that. When you reach the end, join, chain 6, do the same, join, chain 6, do the same. This third, I mean 3, then this one part over here is where we always join our row from. That's why this other stitch is available. Okay, so chain 6, not 5. If you chain 5, it's now going to slant from inside, so you're gonna find your top is going to be a bit smaller on this length. It's gonna be a bit tighter, but if you chain 6, it gives you the perfect and right definition of your top. So we're gonna keep on working that way as we work on this sleeve, because yeah, this sleeve, as you can see, it's already coming out. Yeah, this is how it looks. So I told you, you're not gonna see it right now, but when we are almost done with it, you're gonna see how perfect it's gonna look. Also on this other side, I know you're wondering why this top looks this way. Let's just untighten it, because when you measure it on your body, it's gonna give you some distance here at the back. So yeah, so this is how it's gonna be. Okay, so like that. Okay, that is our top. So we are going to tie it over here. So let's keep on working, and I'll show you when I come to our 15th row, I mean, so that you can see how far and how beautiful it's turning out. And yeah, I'll meet you guys there then. So keep working your treble stitches. Don't try to alter anything. Don't feel like you're doing anything wrong. This is something I've tested and it worked, and that's why I was confident enough to do a tutorial for you guys. So feel free to follow the same steps. The only thing that you can alter is maybe if you want to do a different mesh stitch pattern, or your measurements are different from mine. The rest, please just do the same thing and you'll get the best results. So guys, this is how it looks on my 11th row. Yeah, that is how it looks. Yep. Hi guys, so we are back, and yesterday we left off when I had told you that when we arrived on our 15th row is when we're gonna get back, so that I can show you how big our sleeve has become. Though I went ahead and finished this other sleeve, and this is what you're going to see as we go on. So from here you've already seen how we went about it. So right now we're just working on it, and as you can see, I told you the sleeves will pop out when we have achieved more rows. So this is how it's going, and this is how the other sleeves looks like. And yeah, so we're just going to keep on working like that. And for this other sleeve, I went ahead to go to the 38th row. So we're also gonna do the same thing for this other sleeve. Then I'm going to show you how we're gonna work on this end of our sleeve, just to make it become this small and tiny on your wrist area. So let's just keep on working on this other sleeve. Currently we're on our 16th row, so we need more to get to our 38th row. And basically we're just doing the same thing since we first began with our first mesh row, and that is what we are going to keep on doing till we arrive to the 38th row. So I'm going to get back to you guys when I am on our last row, and then I'm going to show you how to work on the wrist area. Hi my loves, so we are currently at row 34. So we still have 4 more rows to go before we can do the final part of this top. So keep going with your rows. It depends with how long your arm is, so remember you don't need to do 38 rows, but personally I have long arms, so yeah, that's why I'm doing 38. So remember it's chain 2 and do your treble stitch, chain 2, treble stitch. So let's do that, and then when we complete our 38th row, I'm gonna meet back with you guys. Hi guys, so we are back and we are on our last row of treble stitches, which is the 38th row. So let's just finish this up and then see what's happening next. So chain 2, do your treble stitch, and chain 2, lastly pull through, and that is it. We've closed that stitch. So as you can see, this is how our top looks. So this part is where we are at. We want to reduce the sleeves because as you can see, this doesn't look so nice. Yeah, this doesn't look nice. So what you're going to do, you see this stitch over here, you are going to slip stitch in each and every top stitch where you did your treble stitch. All right, so this is what you're gonna do. You're just gonna slip stitch right through, insert your hook and pull through both, insert your hook, pull through both, insert your hook, pull through both. So as you can see, it's already forming that, right? So you're gonna keep on doing that until you come to this part where you started slip stitching. So that is what you're gonna do all the way around, just to reduce the width of your sleeve, or can we call it the circumference? No, we can't do that. So you're just gonna do that, and then I'll meet you guys right at the end of your slip stitch row. Make sure that they are tight enough, they aren't loose. So as you can see, this is what you have. So you're gonna keep on doing that, then I'll meet you guys when you are here, when you've done our last slip stitch. So as you're proceeding to the end of your slip stitch row, you can see the top is reducing in size over here. So at this point you can leave your top here. Okay, you can just leave your top over here because you are done and it is ready. Like, you can just leave it over here, but since for me I still feel like this part is bigger, I want it tight, I want it snatched on my wrist. So we've already closed that. I'm just gonna slip stitch another one and a last one over here, then I'm gonna close off this stitch and cut it off. Now what I do next after this, if you don't have the elastic yarn, just leave it there, but for me I have to do what I have to do, and I told you, like, your end results really matter. All right, your finish really matters. So that is why we are gonna be putting there an elastic. So let's just cut this off and get rid of it. Okay, so remember, like, when you're using your elastic yarn, since it's very small, you're gonna need a smaller hook. Okay, so let's just hide this and then cut it off. Okay, just to make sure that it doesn't frog. Yeah, and then you're gonna cut it off over here. And we are done. Now time for our elastic yarn. And as I said before, we don't want this elastic yarn showing on this side, so we're going to start working on it from the wrong side, which is the inner side, and we're gonna pull it through all the way. All right, and then make single crochets 1 and 2 while holding this excess elastic thread. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, then from here onwards you're going to slip stitch through these spaces. All right, so let's start slip stitching. Just make sure you slip stitch all the way around, and it's gonna reduce this sleeve size to a much smaller size that's gonna fit your arm. So you're gonna keep on slip stitching all the way around, and I'll meet you guys when we are done with the slip stitches. All right, okay, and make sure you're tightening your thread to get the perfect elasticity that you want. So I'll meet you guys when we are done with slip stitching our elastic. So as you can see, it's already doing the magic, right? Yeah, nearing the end where we began putting our elastic, and as you can see, this armhole is so far. This is what we have, guys, and as you can see, it has reduced in size and it stretches. This completely fits your armhole, right? So we're gonna work on the other one, then our top will be ready, and I'm gonna show you the end results. So at this point, our top is ready to wear, and so far I hope you enjoyed and understood the tutorial. I really tried my best to explain it in details so that you can understand. So I'd really appreciate your feedback on the comment section of how your tops turned out. And these are our sleeves so far. As you can see, this is how they look. So let me just try it on and show you how the end results look like. And yeah, thank you, and don't forget to subscribe and share this video, and stay tuned for our next tutorial or vlog. So finally, guys, this is how our top turned out. And so after you've tried the tutorial, please let me know if you loved it, if it was of help, and if you understood it. Okay,